My job is to bring together a lot of email questions which we've received on several areas. I'm going to try and synthesize them for you. I think one of the overwhelming questions was about conflict resolution and prevention. How far have you actually discovered the limits of even the most powerful job in the world?
But I came up against them every day.
Do you believe there's actually, though, an imperative for the US always to be involved? Or sometimes might it actually pay for the US not to be involved, even in diplomatic back channels?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes I think it pays not to be involved because it causes more harm than good.
Even as a superpower?
Yeah.
But the US did actually veto 2 resolutions, didn't it? And the French went in and actually supported the génocidaire.
And you mean because you think the French made it worse and we should have done something the other way?
There is a view that they did make it worse, yes.
Well, I believe we should have permitted the UN to go in earlier, and we should have encouraged them, we should have supported them.
For our moderator today, we are very pleased that we have invited from England, BBC World main presenter, Mr. Nik Gowing.
Let me underline to you what this subject is. Climate change, change business, change us. And I'd like to say this has the question change all of you and vast numbers of people out there. It is about win-win, but how do we get the win-win? Or is there win-lose at the same time? Now, I'm not going to presume anything about what any of you know about corporate social responsibility or socially responsible investing. But we've just been talking for half an hour about the best way of taking this forward and what to some people could be a very technical issue. But my goodness, it's a vital issue when it comes to sustainability, and not just environmentally sustainable. It's about social sustainability and so many other forms of sustainability. I'll introduce all our panelists as we go along, but let's go to Aaron Kramer first of all, if I may, because you are President and Chief Executive Officer of Business for Social Responsibility. So I assume you know what social responsibility is, otherwise you wouldn't be working where you are. Help us with that definition, but I'm asking you no more than 2 minutes each at the moment.
Very good, Nick. That's a good discipline, actually. Much further ahead, 5 or 10 years from now.
Right. Now, what you're going to see is an enormous variation in what this definition is, and certainly the approaches between what you might call the developed world and the developing world. Let's try and get that enormous spectrum and capture that in the next few minutes. Andrew Forrest, you represent an industry, the mining industry, which is really has what one might call a checkered image, particularly when it comes to CSR. How do you define corporate social responsibility? And I don't want greenwash on this. I want the way it is.
Okay, thanks, Nick. Socially responsible investment, as we see it, is just nothing but very good business. It isn't easily understood.
Well, welcome and congratulations to you all. Let me start with John Sulston and Sidney Brenner and Bob Horvitz. You spent more than 30 years unraveling the fundamental secrets of this little worm and its similarities to us humans, but there's an important principle which you've adopted about sharing information in science. John, what's your view? Should I be raising the issue here of theft, of plagiarism, and the value of exclusivity in all of this, Vernon?
Then it is public property, and we hope that it will be used to do something interesting.
Sidney, I mean, you started down this road with the worm and so many years ago. Do you feel comfortable that it's now out there, it's available for anybody?